Did you wake up? Good morning, good morning. Did you tell yourself to get up? Good morning, good morning. Did you give thanks? Good morning, good morning. It's Sunday, Sunday day, Sunday day, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Yeah. Morning, guys. How you guys doing? Hope this week bring joy, peace, and another beginning of the week. Oh my. It's a long weekend for us, so we're out of the rut, having some peace and quiet and all of those good things in one. Happy Sunday, guys. What you guys up to? Ready for your content? I'm sure you guys are into to get a lovely content today. I told you guys about the story that I was gonna come back and speak to you guys about this content. And I said, guys, there's a judge in Mexico locked up for presumed perhaps 43 murdered 43 students a decade ago. She's basically now locked up, guys, and we're gonna get into the story, so to speak. Okay, guys, so let's get into the story. All right. So Mexican authorities on Wednesday arrested a former senior judge in connection with the disappearance and presumed murders of 43 students a decade ago. Okay. Lambertini Galeana, who faces charges of forced disappearance, is accused of helping to conceal videos that allegedly showed the incident unfolding, a government statement said. Security camera video allegedly captured the moment the students were kidnapped by armed men right in front of judicial building El Pais, reported in 2022. A commission concluded that Jolini ordered the videos to be destroyed because the images were not clear due to technical problems, the outlet reported. The case, one of the violence-plagued country, worst human rights, has become emblematic of missing persons crisis that has seen more than 120,000 people disappear. Cellini, now retired, was a president of a superior court of justice in the southern Mexican state of Guerrero, where the students from a rural teacher training college disappeared in September 2014. So far, the remains of only 3 of the missing students have been found and identified. So remember I told you guys, perhaps these children are dead. Perhaps they were sold. Perhaps. Did I say that? Precisely. She may be possible know where these students are. Okay? So this is the family of the students. These are the students' family out here protesting, basically looking for their children, looking for their classmates, looking for the children. Only 3 of the missing students have been found and identified, and relatives denounce impunity. The students from the school, whose members have a history of political activism, had commanded buses to travel to demonstrates in Mexican City when they went missing. Investigators believe they were abducted by drug cartel with the help of a corrupt police, although exactly what happened is unclear. In 2022, a truth commission set up by former President Andres Manuel Lopez government branded the case a state crime and said the military share responsibility either directly or through negligence. That same year, federal agent arrested former Attorney General Jesus Morelo Caram, who oversaw the original investigation. The commissioner found that the army was aware of what was happening and had real-time information about the kidnapping and the disappearance. One theory the commissioner put forward was that the cartel members target the students because they had unknowingly taken a bus with drugs hidden inside. The incident drew international condemnation and shocked a nation where criminal violence, much of linked to drug trafficking, has claimed around 480,000 lives since 2006. Okay, guys? So that's the story I had to come and say to you guys, that the judge is in hot water with the country because she got locked up for the missing children. So let's get into this one, quick and fast. Protests.
What is going on? What?
Okay. So people been protesting, asking the judge, where are these children? Where are they missing? Where have they gone? Where have you hid their bodies? Where are they? Okay. And it's kind of troubling to know that the judge is involved, right? At times we're not surprised, guys. Okay. We're not surprised, but still, at the end of the day, where have these children gone? All right. So, like I told you guys, it's been a long haul for this investigation. Okay. They suspected a few other people. All right. But the main person that they have as a perpetrator is the judge. Okay. So I had to come and mention this content because the other day I said to you guys that the judge got arrested. Okay. And it's not a good look because you're a judge. All right. So I'm sure they're gonna maybe charge her for murder because 3 bodies have found and identified they're dead. And there's more missing, 40 more. Right? So they charge the judge. Not only that, they claim, allegedly, that the judge ordered for the videotapes to be erased because she claimed that the tape wasn't clear. But they're saying because she's part of it. That's the main reason why. She ordered the tape to be erased. Okay, guys? So let's get into this story quick and fast. Like I said, the missing disappearance student. Okay? Let's get into it. So I'm going to see if this one will play for me. Let's get into it.
Pues yo creo que este caso viene a evidenciar el México real. Y todos estos hechos están marcados por la impunidad. A practice that had become common.
I want English only.
In this case, right now, the Ayotzinapa normal school students and many human rights defenders and supporters in many cities across Mexico are gathering today to protest the case that seems to point to the utter corruption and the lack of rule of law that seems to pervade Mexico even to this day. We're standing at the monument for Mexico's national flag here in the city of Iguala, Guerrero. And historically, the city is known in Mexico as the birthplace of the national flag. Now, of course, it is known as a site of tragedy. We're here to understand how this incident occurred and what Mexico's authorities are doing to respond to it. On the afternoon of September 26, a group of about 100 students from the Ayotzinapa Normal School traveled in a caravan of buses to the city of Iguala, about 2 hours north. These buses were not officially rented, but commandeered by the students in a practice that had become commonplace. The students were headed to Iguala to take over more buses they said they needed to attend an upcoming protest in Mexico City. At about 9 p.m., the students' caravan was heading out of the city when they were cut off by police cars. Then the firing started. Police shot indiscriminately toward the three buses. Ernesto Guerrero, one of the survivors of the police attack, told us what happened that night.
Cuando cruzamos el Zócalo, salen las primeras patrullas y empiezan a accionar sus armas. Interceptan al tercero.
Police officers were loading them onto police vehicles.
A todos los compañeros que se llevaron solo del tercer autobús fueron sometidos, encañonados, tirados en la banqueta. Después un policía se encargaba de decir tú y tú.
So they claim that they thought they were police officers, but these people weren't police officers at all. Not at all. Okay? I want to get to another part where a little bit more English, okay? Because it's only fair. Okay? So did you hear? So now the children are missing for decades now and nobody know where they are, and the only person is locked up is the judge. Okay? The judge. Oh, Mexico. All right? So I'm trying to get into this story more of everything else. So let's get into more of this, okay? Let's see if it's English. You know it's Mexico. It's a different language, guys. Mute you guys for a second.
Anger's boiling over in Mexico, where dozens of college students have vanished and their families fear the worst.
Okay, listen.
10 years later, 43 missing college students, and now one former judge is tied to their disappearance and their presumed death. This week, Mexican authorities made the arrest of Lambertina Galeana for her role in 2014. On Wednesday, the former president of the Superior Court Justice found herself on the other side of the bench, facing charges of forced disappearance and concealing video evidence detailing the abduction of students in Iguala. Mexican media outlet El País says armed men can allegedly be seen on video in front of the judicial building where Galeana worked at the time. 8 years later, in 2022, the Truth and Access to Justice Commission said Galeana ordered the security footage to be destroyed during her tenure. In September of 2014, 43 students from Ayotzinapa School were planning a demonstration in Mexico City when they vanished. Their families and community suspected the government and drug cartels were behind the crime because in the Mexican town, kidnappings were a part of their daily lives.
The Mexican government has charged Abarca for the college students' kidnapping. 3 gang members have also been arrested.
With support from Mexico's former president, the Truth Commission labeled the students' disappearance a state crime and for the first time acknowledged the military's role in the incident. Investigators theorize the students were turned over to a drug cartel with the help of local police, but the reason why remains a mystery. Only the remains of 3 of the students have...
So did you hear the first guy said that the bus was ambushed by police? Oh no. So the police seems like they're part of it. The military seems like they're part of it. The judge is part of it, allegedly, because she has a fair day to go to court and render herself guilty or not guilty. So you see people, 43 students, and nobody didn't even talk about the story. 43 student has been missing, and we never heard nobody come out with this story, but only over here though, because we're talking about real life issues. Okay, and not only that, even if you're a mother, it don't matter what color the children are, they're missing. If we do really care about children, they are missing. 43 of them were missing. 3 remains. Body was found, remains dead. Okay, so now we know that the judge is part of it. Now we heard the police officers are part of it. Now we heard that the military is also a part of it, and we're gonna say allegedly, right? We don't know. These are alleged decades. People, this is not happening now. This happened from 2014. We're in 2025. Okay, so at the end of the day, when you really think about it, not only that, I'm not sure if you guys watched the content a couple days ago when you guys heard in Mexico, women are being killed because they're women called femicide. I'm not sure if you guys heard about that. I spoke about that on the content, guys. Depends on the time I come around. I don't get that much people, but depends. If I come on early, then a lot of yous are over here. And if I come on late, then it's fear you guys because I know people are busy going to work, going to school, going about their business. So I don't expect you guys to sit down and wait for me, which, because I come on, different kind of times or different kind of timing, right? But at the end of the day, people now we know the judge is part of it. So let's continue.
Found and identified by family. The community continues to protest the case year after year, calling for justice and closure. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Kaylee Carey.
So could you imagine, people? Could you imagine that a judge is part of the missing students? A judge. Imagine. So there's a protest been happening for the longest time in Mexico. For the longest time. Give me a second. I'm going to meet you guys. Commercial.
The authorities in Mexico have arrested the man who was serving as Attorney General when one of the country's worst human rights atrocities took place. Jesus Murillo is accused of forced disappearance, torture, and obstruction of justice in relation to the case of 43 student teachers who went missing 8 years ago. Tim Allman has this report.
Even in a country steeped in violence, this was a crime that shocked the nation.
Listen.
Dozens of young men heading to a demonstration in Mexico City who simply vanished.
But don't forget, I will say allegedly, don't forget that the queen, the queen, remember she was accused back then of about 12 children missing and never came back. Remember that story? We're going to come and review that story another day. Possible. I have to think about it if I want to drop that story. But remember the queen was accused of some of the children that were missing in Buckingham Palace allegedly. This is not the first, people. It's not the first. Remember in Africa, every day they take away those girls' children and nobody know where they are. Remember in Mexico, women are dying because of femicide. Okay? So I had to come and shout that, guys. Let's continue.
All that was ever found was a few bone fragments from 3 of the student teachers. Now the man who was, at one point, ultimately responsible for the investigation into their disappearance has himself been arrested. Jesus Murillo, Attorney General under the former President Enrique Peña Nieto, had already faced criticism for errors in an earlier inquiry. He had blamed police and the drugs cartel, but not the armed forces. Now he faces charges including torture and obstruction of justice. This comes only a day after a new Truth Commission, set up to investigate the disappearance, pointed the finger of blame at military personnel.
Que la desaparición de los 43 estudiantes de la Normal Isidro Burgos de Ayotzinapa.
The disappearance of the 43 students constituted a state crime, said Alejandro Encinas, the head of the commission. A crime which agents from various state institutions participated in. When the current president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, took office 4 years ago, he promised to uncover the truth about what happened. Now, more than ever, he still wants justice to be done.
Castigar a los responsables.
Could you imagine, people?
Pues ayuda.
Could you imagine,
Punishment of those responsible helps to ensure that it does not happen again, that such regrettable acts do not happen again in our country.
For the families of the missing, the pain of the last 8 years has been unimaginable.
Imaginable, you
They
are.
will hope the truth is now closer than ever before. Tim Allman, BBC News.
Wow, 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 wow. So when you see I come, guys, and I drop a topic, doesn't mean that I'm not coming with the story. Remember, this topic was in one of the stories or one of the content that I dropped. And I said, guys, I am going to do my research and I'm going to forward. And when I forward, we're going to talk about the 43 students that are missing. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it, guys, because we highlight the missing over here. Okay, guys? Yes, I could talk about a lot of things. I could talk about every earthly thing that's happening on the internet. But why? Why? Why should I talk about everything else that everybody else is talking about? When you talk about different stuff, it makes you unique. It makes you different. When you talk about real life issues, you're on point. When you talk about real life stories, what's happening now, you're doing reality. That's why I talk about these things. Okay, guys? So if you didn't know, 43 students have been missing for decades now. Judge lock up. A man ahead of the investigation is locked up. And so much more. Family been mourning. Family been looking for their family. Only 3 discover dead like a dog. The rest of the 40 others, we don't know where they are. So we just have to come out and shout all the way from the Mexico City with the dirty judge. Okay? Moving right on, guys. We want to talk about a lot more stuff, okay? No. We're going to come back and talk about some other stuff, but we're going to leave it. Some other stuff, but not all of it. Let's get to Tory Lanez for a second. Now, we get to understand that this is the guy who stabbed Tory Lanez. We get to understand that that's the guy who shanked him up 14 times, okay? I didn't know that Tory Lanez's father is a ministry, or he's almost like a pastor, almost. Almost like a pastor, almost, all right? So let's get into the Tory Lanez suspect for a second, and then we're going to get to his dad and a few other things, all right? And I'm going to wrap up the live because it's Sunday. Okay, so let's get into it right here.
Suspect has been identified tonight in the prison stabbing of former hip-hop star Tory Lanez. According to the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, Lanez was stabbed by inmate Santino Casio at a housing unit at the California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi. That attack happened early yesterday morning. An Instagram post from Lanez's account says he was stabbed 14 times in that attack, causing both of his lungs to collapse. The post goes on to say he's now breathing normally and is in good spirits. The former rapper was sentenced to 10 years in prison back in 2023 after shooting fellow hip-hop star Megan Thee Stallion at a house party in Los Angeles. Casio was serving a life sentence in prison after being convicted of second-degree murder in 2004. Suspect.
So if you're already doing life in jail for murder, you don't mind stabbing up somebody and do another life. Because how many more times you're going to go do life? You only can do life one time. You only have one life. Okay? And we know when it comes to the prison how it is. It's segregated. It's like discrimination in the prison. Blacks are on their own. Mexican is on their own. Chinese people are on their own. And the white skinhead are on their own, allegedly. Okay? So remember I said to you with this stabbing, either going to lend him a hand to get out, or the stabbing is going to put him in protective custody. Could you imagine? Not only that, Tory Lanez's father came out with a whole whopping of prayer. Let's get to that. Okay? Let's get to that, guys. So remember, Tory Lanez's father, background is, people will call him Bayesian. Okay? When the situation happened, Tory Lanez's father came out and said all of this. We're going to way back now, guys. Way back. Listen.
I just stood here in this Los Angeles County and witnessed the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez,
listen,
and the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z. Yes. You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have treaded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Tao and Alex Bott.
They met on Saturday before. They met
with our witness. And then the man...
Did you hear what the dad has been shouting all this time? that they tampered with the witness. But I guess because we were so caught up in our feelings with the Tory Lane and all of that, now we didn't hear what the dad was saying because he was angry and he was shouting. And a lot of times when a man is angry, we don't really listen. But did you hear what the dad said? Until now, the witness came forward and saying, wait a minute, two girls were fighting, Tory Lane's hold on to the gun fired, hit Megan in her foot. But the other story was, I'm walking out the car. He said, dance, biatch, dance, biatch, dance, and pow. That's what we heard. That's what we heard. Okay. So Tory Lane's father came out and he has a lot to say about his prayer warrior. As you guys know, that man is most likely in church, some kind of pastor somehow, of that sort. And his background is he's basically Bayesian, right? From the yeah, I would say that's what you would call them, I would think, right? Bayesian. So Tory Lane's father made a speech, okay? And that man sticks up nail too thin when it comes to his son. So let's drop this one quick and fast, because we're gonna get into it. All right, let's get into this.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming out and lending your cameras to the world. We appreciate you being here. My name is Sunstar Peterson, well known as the father of Tory Lanez, but his family affectionately knows him as Daystar Peterson. This may seem not even to matter today, but it does to me. The reason why he bears...
So the dad is like a pastor and the son is like a rapper. Oh God, what a clash in souls and spirit. Anyway, let's continue, please, and thanks. Listen, please, because I don't want a copyright strike, eh? We're working on our watch time, eh? Okay, guys? So thank you for tuning in, and the new subscribers, welcome, welcome. And those who have your finger and touch the button and say, nay, yay, nay, yay. Come on, subscribe to the channel now. All right? Don't let me have to beg you now. Subscribe to the channel. You come over here, you're watching the content. Remember, I'm not begging anything. Remember, I'm not asking for anything of any sort or everybody else asks for. I'm just saying, subscribe to the channel at times, and forward in the content when I come arrive, Anyways, let's continue.
Named Daystar is because I was scheduled to speak in a conference in Washington, D.C. back in the early 2000s. Back in the late 90s. My wife and I stayed in a hotel across the river in Northern Virginia. I was up praying before that conference that I was supposed to speak at that evening.
I told you the man is a pastor.
I paced back and forth in my hotel suite praying. I began to quote the scripture from 2 Peter chapter 1, and it states, For you will do well to take heed as unto a light shining in a dark place, until the day dawns and the day star arises in your heart. I didn't know whether it was a boy or girl in my late wife's womb, but I heard the Holy Spirit said to me, that is the name of your child. That's why he bears that name today.
You're there.
Now we're standing in the United States of America, land of the free and the home of the brave. I have watched from afar.
Land of the free and the home of the brave. American citizen. Your son is a Canadian citizen, so he's treated differently. He's almost an immigrant in America, although he's a Canadian. So yeah, land of the free and the land of the brave for the Americans, not the Canadian. Let's continue.
Being a Canadian, I have watched as presidents innumerable and other officials place their hand on the Bible.
You're there.
And swear a sacred oath to uphold justice.
And that's what I don't understand. I'm interjecting, guys, because you guys know I talk a lot now. This is why I don't understand. The Bible is a different Bible, and the Bible is a piece of sacred piece that you have to wonder and ponder. This is the same Bible tells you in the Bible, thou shalt not kill, and all of these things in the Bible. But when you look, you have judge sentenced people to death Same Bible that stands in court. Oh no. Then you have the Bible says a bunch of things. Oh, and then you have people have their hand. Oh, Father God, where are you on today's Sunday morning? Please shine some light and let me have some understanding. Why the Bible sit down in the courtroom? Why some judge are sentencing people to death, but thou shalt not kill is one of the 10 commandments. Let me understand this. Maybe I'm ignorant to the Bible. I am not sure. Let's continue.
Hold truth because that's what justice demands. So before I go any further, based on the courtroom that I stood in 508 days or so ago and heard my son convicted, is a court in the federal reality of things that also holds the Bible higher than judges.
See?
And so I'm going to pray a very short prayer before I get started here today.
Please listen. Bow your heads.
Pray that in the spirit of when Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God, stood before Pontius Pilate.
You're there.
Pontius said, "Why do you not speak? Do you not know that I have the..."
I told you that this man is a pastor and a missionary. That's how Tory Lanez end up over there. He went over there because of church situation, remarried, and that's how Tory Lanez end up in the States. And he said, I'm going to do music while my dad preach the gospel. I'm going to sing about all kind of things about women, rap, crap, all kind of crap. But my dad is out here trumping the Bible. I don't understand that anyway, but what can I say? Let's continue.
Power to crucify you or to let you go free.
You're there.
It was only one of the times that Jesus ever spoke. He said, "You would not have power over me unless God Almighty gave it to you today."
Okay. Sure, you guys heard that speech. Not gonna drag it out. If you listen to that man's speech, you figured out a lot of things that the man is saying, and you'd be like, oh my. Yeah? When the first time that man shouted, when he just found guilty, that man said a lot, but you guys didn't understood. See, it came to pass. Here comes the witness now say, Tory Lanez didn't do that. It happened this way. Could you imagine? So I guess a great prayer is a great prayer. And a great prayer warrior, you can't beat him. I guess not. But if there's innocence in the midst of this situation, then it would come out. Okay? Because they say what goes down in darkness comes out in light. So at the end of the day, we're going to see how this play out, especially that he got stabbed up in jail. We're going to see if it's going to lend him a hand to get out, which I would think. Okay? Because we all know that the 11 years that he got, he's not going to do all of that time. Because if he spent time in jail, you have that dead time. And in many countries like mine, before they used to count 1 days or 2 days or 1 days or 3 days at times. Okay? And not only that, in many states in America, you only do 3/4 of that time. Depends on the state where he is. So sometimes you're supposed to do 11 years and you don't end up doing 11 years. You do end up maybe 4.5, 5. Come out on good behavior. But his ass will be deported. So I don't understand how Tory Lanez been over America that long. Have all of these hook up and never even try to get some kind of American papers. Well, if he had a green card, he would be deported same way. But I'm just saying, like, you know, you have a kid in America, a girl in America, like, get with the program, bruh. Dual citizen, please and thanks, so you could come back and forth and vote. I am not sure. I don't understand. I really don't get it. But because the Canadian book is so powerful, you go anywhere in the world, like, here, sit ya. So I guess maybe that's why he just said, you know, I'm a Canadian, I go anywhere. I don't need to be an American. But look at now. Look at now. Look at here. Look at here. Look at here. Look at here. Look what's happening now. So if this man is innocent, then the people them in Rat Nation allegedly is wicked. Seriously. But a lot of innocent people go down in jail when you don't sell your soul, when you don't do certain things in the hip-hop world. We get it. We understand it truly. Okay? We surely understand it fairly and surely. Okay? Now the new witness claim. Let's get to the new witness claim, and we're gonna wrap up this live and jump off of this live, people. Like hopscotch. Yeah, me. Like jump rope. Yeah, we.
To bring to your attention
right here
some information Unite the People believes is exculpatory in Mr. Daystar Peterson's case, professionally known as Tory Lanez. Recently, we've been made aware that a member of the media, Mr. Gianno Caldwell, was working on an op-ed for the New York Post regarding Mr. Peterson's innocence. During his work on that op-ed, he became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession.
Oh my.
Regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case.
Oh boy.
The New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gascon, Megan Pete and her representatives, and Kelsey Harris and her representatives. The only party that responded last week was Megan Pete's representatives with a request for more information.
Keep on listening, guys.
Mr. Peterson's brutally attacked in his jail cell.
Yep.
Unite the People represents Daystar Peterson in his appellate process. We filed an appellate brief and a writ of habeas corpus on his behalf.
See it there?
The district attorney's office has already responded
The
to
habeas
cases
corpus
fully
always
briefed.
shining.
We're just waiting for the appellate court's decision. We were willing to wait for the appellate process to play out. But given that brutal, unprovoked attack, we felt it necessary.
I told you guys,
to come here
coming
today
out.
to provide you with this information. It is our intention to make a request to the governor to either pardon or commute the sentence of Mr. Peterson.
I told you all.
So that when he recovers from this attack, he's not returned to a jail cell.
You're there.
But that he's allowed to go home and recover.
Oh my. Stabbing caused that
Not long
now.
ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James.
Listen for the part here.
Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial.
Oh my.
As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People.
Oh my.
Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Miss Harris had where she stated she had the gun.
Oh no.
She fired it 3 times.
Oh my.
Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down.
Yikes.
And the gun fired 2 more times.
Oh my gosh.
In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody.
Woy-oy.
Never even touched that gun. Never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the...
Did you know that girl in the thing that testified got immunity? Why did she get immunity if she never did anything and came and testified? So when the dad was at the courthouse shouting, "Rock Nation!" The man knew what he was saying, bro. The man knew what he was saying, dogs. Just saying, yeah? You know what I mean? You know what they say in the street now? I'm just being sarcastic now, people. Just playing. Seriously. This is a serious matter. This is a real serious matter. Oh. So if you guys didn't know, you know now. That boy's going to walk sooner or later. That stab pushed the court system over the edge and let him out. He's in fear for his life. Seriously. So let's see who's going to go down again in this trial. Because this trial is going to go on again. Somebody would have to go. And the person who was fighting with Megan, they claim that she took immunity. Why? You must have did something. So all of these things on top of these things on top of these things. This are going on top of going on what are going. You know? As my friend would shout. Let's continue, bro. Right here.
Non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting. 2 men break up the fight. 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side.
Oh boy.
Passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting.
I don't need to drag this out anymore. I'm sure you guys heard all of this. But the good thing is that we can put it together in a good content. One behind each other. Okay? So the dad knew there was something wrong. We all knew that there was something wrong, what we don't know. We all came out on the heel of woman power. Woman is being abused. Woman is being abused. What they were fighting over, I think they were over the dickity girl Lagwan bad. Over the dickity girl Lagwan bad. Was that there was... I'm like tongue-tied stutter. Hey, nah. Is that what they were fighting over? Because the two girls were fighting, they claimed one was seeing each other behind each other back. Over the dicky the girl are going wild. Da 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 da. Is that what it is? Really? What were they fighting over? So when you're a womanizer, when you have baby mother at home, when you have wife to be at home and you're out partying with the Kardashian, leaving the party, end up with two women in the car, don't see eye to eye, gunshot bust, here you are in jail, stabbed 14 times. A lot of men in life are going to go down because of a woman. A lot of men nowadays days are going to lose their lives because of a woman and lose their freedom because of a woman. You notice from we have the woman situation and all of that, you don't see that black sister that start that woman situation. You don't see her anymore, that black lady. You notice from everybody start Black Lives Matter, we hear about all of the fraud and all of the story, and we don't really hear anything like that of that sort anymore that much. So this feminism, what people are bringing coming up in this, is just making the black sisters and black brother evil, separated even more. Because mostly nowadays days, women nowadays days want to act like a man. They wear the pants. They got the bag. They got the money. They're independent. I don't need a man. It's destroying the culture. Because we all know from ancient time, we do need a partner. We do need a significant other. Okay? So this case busts out like wildfire. And we're waiting to see what's going to happen in this case. And as soon as we found out, I'll be right here, guys. Captain, I got some stories for you guys. Seriously. So let's kiss our teeth on this Sunday morning, this great Sunday morning. Anything you do, make sure you have God first in the battle of the action in your life. Can we run on with some more content? Let's shell down the content in this content, yeah? Let's get to here, yeah. More topics. Can we? Shall we? Yeah, we, wah, we? Okay, guys. Anyways. So we go to politics, or should we take it back a little bit a notch? Shall we? Shall we? We, what? Did people. So yesterday I came and I said, people, oh, the people then broke out behind the toilet. Yes? The people break out, run away, escape from this jail cell, out of the toilet, from the prison. Let's get into that, please, and thanks. Now, people, looky here. For
a group of inmates who escaped from a jail in the heart of New Orleans. ABC's Dave Packer has the latest. These photos released by New Orleans officials show inside the cell where they say 10 men escaped, prompting an intense search. Authorities announcing some of the escapees have been captured. Photos show a dislodged toilet inside one of the cells and the words "too easy" scribbled above, pointing to a hole where the inmates are believed to have escaped.
My
the
God.
sheriff says deputies discovered the men were missing during a routine head count.
No, sir.
Based on video surveillance, they were seen exiting a door on the docks where we normally bring in supplies.
Yeah.
And running across the interstate.
You're there.
At least 2 inmates have been captured, including Kendall Miles, who was found less than 3 miles away.
Brother, yo, they use a shit house to get out and shit house. I can't believe it. But anyways, when you find something easy, why not escape and end up getting captured and get more charges? Because there are going to be more charges now. So I just have to laugh and say, oh, dow, dee, dow. They're gone. Now, because we're talking about so much cases and women and all of that, let's get back to the hockey people then for a second. Because we're not stopping talking about this case. Because nobody is not talking about the case. This case is not really on the news because people don't really put out their business like that. So at the end of the way, people, unusual jury discharge. Remember I told you in history, we never saw that. In history, we never heard of that. So unusual jury discharge. Let me tell you. Open your ear, let me shout. Unusual discharge. We never heard that in history. Let me drop this one on you like some hot pancakes in the morning and syrup. Right here, please, and tongues. Hockey world, we gone sports. Yeah, we do. Right here.
Okay, so for more on this case, I'm now joined by Sarah Lehman. She's a criminal lawyer and founder of Sarah Lehman Law Group. Thank you so much for being in studio. I have covered a lot of high-profile cases before. I've never heard of something like this happening.
I told ya.
Not once has the jury been, well, there's been an issue and there was a mistrial. Now they're discharged. Now we're moving to judge alone. Is there a comparable case that you can think of?
No, I can't.
Never.
This is a very unusual circumstance, to say the least.
And that woman is a lawyer, and we never heard about a case like that. That within almost 2 weeks, 2 set of jury are gone, get away, bye, dismiss. Where you hear this thing from? So this is in history. Look at them privilege. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Of course, juries can be dismissed. They can be dispensed with before the
We all
conclusion
know
of the
that,
trial.
but
That does
like
happen.
this.
But to see it happen twice in a
Told
single
you.
trial and also so close together and so early on in the proceedings, I mean, we're still in Crown's case.
Yep.
That does make it very unusual.
Very unusual.
Well, and then the judge, now it's going to go judge alone. I mean, there's that. It could be a mistrial. I think I would normally expect a mistrial, and in this case, not.
That's right. So
we
here
had
they
one
made the
2 weeks
decision
ago
to proceed with the judge alone. This is an option that is available, of course, through the criminal code. And in these circumstances, the court has deemed it to be appropriate. And we have all defense counsel on board consenting to moving forward in this manner. So that seems to signal to us that no one...
Troubling and disturbing you all. So now we're waiting and wanting for the outcome of this case. It's rather disturbing and troubling, but what can I say, you all? So as soon as this case forward, not guilty or mistrial, we're going to be on the case like wham, damn. We're going to be on that case. Okay, guys? So I had to tell you guys and I had to shout, people. It's unusual trial. Okay, so when I come and shout something doesn't mean I don't got the receipt. When I come and shout something out of my clean mouth doesn't mean I'm not going to make you hear it for yourself. Because remember I said, don't listen to what I gotta say now. Do your own research, because it's good to have your own wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge and wisdom is best to have your own information. It's best to feed your own brain with your knowledge and wisdom. Yeah, I talk a lot. Yeah, I come with the facts. Yeah, I come with the receipts. But what about your facts? Oh. Let's run on. Okay, guys? Now, people, from there to there to there to there to there to there to there. Let's get into some more stuff, shall we? Oh, the da. The da. Give me a second. Looking for what I'm looking for. Okay, guys, give me a second. Okay, where I'm at. I got so much things on the iPad. One second, guys. One second, guys. Let's follow up with this. Now. Right back here with the hockey players because we're not done. We're just a come. Continue. Okay?
Tonight, the jury in the criminal case of 5 former junior hockey players is discharged, but the trial goes ahead.
Once that accusation is made, whether there's foundation or not, it's really going to put things in jeopardy.
Why the judge took over rather than declaring a second mistrial.
People them are even protesting, people.
Wanted for 2 decades.
Okay?
Nabbed in Toronto.
The people them are out here protesting. Listen.
Accused Alex Fermenton's lawyers, Daniel Brown and Hillary Dudding, of judging and making fun of jurors. Every day when we enter the courtroom, they observe us.
Hold on. Did you get to understand who was making fun of the jurors? Did you hear that there was a complaint that people are making fun of jurors and all of that? When it comes to your right of when it comes to your rights, you gotta be mindful in the court system, people. So there's protests outside shouting justice, no peace. Okay? And they've been messing around with the jury for a while. But anyways, people, I don't want to drag it out or talk it out. Let's hear for yourself quick and fast. Yes? I just didn't want too much stuff in it because I don't want a copyright strike. And what I'm not talking about, I really don't want it in the live. So that's why more time I will stop forward talk and then drop some more stuff. Yeah? All right, let's continue.
A detail that they weren't supposed to hear. This
See?
isn't the first time a possible interaction between jury and defense
I told you.
upended this case.
You're going to discredit a young girl who's saying that when she was in this
She was older than the boys. Supporters of EM and supporters of the hockey players accused of sexually assaulting her clash outside the courthouse.
She was scared.
She was older than the boys.
She was scared and she did what she needed to do to get out of that situation.
Everybody was an adult. The drama outside eclipsed by the drama unfolding inside as Justice Maria
Star. Keep on listening.
decided what to do about a note sent to her Thursday, signed by a juror.
You're there.
It accused Alex Fermenton's lawyers, Daniel Brown and Hilary Dudding, of judging and making fun of jurors. Every day when we enter the courtroom, they observe us, whisper to each other, and turn to each other and laugh as if they are discussing our appearance, the note said. This is unprofessional and unacceptable.
Oh my God.
The defense teams argued the accusations raised the possibility of a tainted jury and an unfair trial.
You hear?
Carosia decided to discharge the jury.
John
In a press release, Brown and Dudding called the incident an unfortunate misinterpretation. No defense counsel would risk alienating a juror, the statement said.
Ultimately,
This defense lawyer has no involvement in the trial, but isn't surprised by the decision.
and I think once that accusation is made, whether there's foundation or not, it's really going to put things in jeopardy. And that's
It's the second time this trial was almost derailed.
Star.
Dudding and another juror had an interaction at a food court during a lunch break.
Yeah, hear
There were
that?
differing accounts of what happened. The defense called for a mistrial and got one. A second jury was then selected.
So what are the jurors and these people and the defense is doing at the food court? There's no ordering in the hotel no more? Doesn't jurors stay in the freaking hotel? So jurors are free to roam in a hockey case while they're locked up in a hotel in many other cases? So what are they going to continue to do? People keep on saying mistrial, mistrial, mistrial for these privileged ones? Really and truly? Say what? Then when the jurors come, you guys are making fun of the juror, whispering and all of that. Then they had to dismiss the juror. Ah, my brother. You know how long they've been waiting on this case, folks? You know how long? Little bit more, and we're just going to kiss her teeth, literally. Next. Little bit more, please and thanks. That's a big case.
Oh, that jury has been sent home. But the trial didn't miss a beat. Former World Junior player Tyler Steenbergen faced cross-examination on the sex acts he said he saw his former teammates engage in with a naked woman.
Star.
By mid-morning, it was business as usual with...
Do you guys want to hear that testimony, what he saw in the room of the naked woman? Yo, the man said the woman was naked and she do all kind of things to the players then, bro. Yo, this was... Yo, it was like she give one consent and then the others give each other consent. Yo, I don't want to get involved now. Allegedly, please. This is all alleged. Let me plead my cause. Anything I say is all allegedly. Please and thank you. I'm just a messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. All allegedly now. Please and thanks. All right? Running on. So, the guy testified. And he testified, and let's get to this testimony. What he saw, the hockey players them were doing. Oh my. Tell your sons to keep their hands to themselves. As big as your sons are, if a woman is drunk, she can't give consent. If a woman is drunk, don't touch the kitty cat. If a woman is drunk, don't clean her mouth. If a woman is drunk, leave her to be, leave her at bay, because you will end up under sexual assault. Oh no. Let's continue, man. Right here.
Testifying remotely from
Testimony.
Alberta, Tyler Steenbergen was a former teammate of the 5 defendants who are all on trial for sexual assault at the London courthouse. Together, they were members of the 2018 gold medal-winning Canadian World Junior Hockey team. Steenbergen was also in London with the others in June of that year as they celebrated their win with Hockey Canada. He told Crown attorney Heather Donkers that he was in room 209 at the Delta Armories Hotel in downtown London when he walked in to find a naked girl.
My God.
Minutes later, she engaged in sex acts with some of the accused, Carter Hart and Michael McLeod. He saw Dylan Dubé get involved as well, saying Dylan was slapping her butt. It wasn't hard, but it wasn't soft either. Then, when it came to a fourth defendant, Cal Foote, Steenbergen said, I remember partially seeing the splits because there were people around me.
My God.
He said he tried to get out of the room, but the female was in the way on the floor,
Jaja.
saying, I just didn't want to step over a naked girl. When there was a clear path, we took the chance to leave.
Wayo. So she was out of her mind. You hear that? She was out of her mind. They were slapping her butt. They were doing their thing. So it's almost allegedly gang rape. Almost ready to run a train, run a battery. Pom, pom. Give me everything you got. Really? I don't know, so prominent in a big, big hockey like this. Hey, ooh. There's prostitution outside. Please. Hello? Hooker, can you come to room 101010? And I'm just being sarcastic now. Just being an ass, rather. Yo, if you guys found guilty, no more hockey games. Get out of here. No more hockey games. Not at all. If you guys find guilty now. Could you imagine? This is sick. Crazy. Lost for words, but I'm not surprised. The manhood in our men nowadays days. Oh no. Let's continue.
By the Crown, if there was any conversation about that night the next day when the players were golfing, Steenbergen said there may have been a brief one about how crazy it was. A short time later, all the players were contacted by Hockey Canada about an ongoing investigation.
Mama.
That's when group chat messages started going out between the one-time teammates. From accused Michael McLeod, who was the one who brought the 20-year-old woman to his hotel room, he wrote, we all need to say the same thing if we get interviewed.
You there?
Have different stories or make anything up. From Carter Hart, honestly, boys...
Whoa! We need to get our story straight to Pat. Why do you guys need to get your story straight together, allegedly? If it happened that way, everybody will have the same story. But if it happened another way, everybody's going to be telling the tale and got booked and hooked with that text. So everybody should say the same thing? For what? They said you guys took advantage of that girl, allegedly. She was only 20. So do you have any 20-year-old in your house? Warn her about drinking, please, and thanks. Warn her the danger of being in a group of men. Please and thanks. And it's not all men are like that, because majority of my viewers are men. Yeah, guys, I'm watching to see. I see where you guys are watching from, and I see if you guys are male and female. YouTube tell you everything that goes on. I'm watching, guys. So I can't even throw all my men underneath the bus. But when men are drunk and women are drunk, it's never two good items together. Never. So men, if you're drunk, get a hold of yourself. And women, if you can't drink, stay at home. Don't overdo it. Don't leave your drink unattended. Don't accept drink from people. Don't go to places where there's a bunch of guys and are you one if you're drunk. So it look like in this world where a lot of men are on sexual assault, it look like when they're ready to do it with ladies, they have to say, can I? And when they're ready to continue, they say, should I? And when they're almost ready to bust the train, can I? Please and thanks. Maybe. Gotta sign a paper. Can I get the cookie? Do all kind of things with the cookie when I'm done sign? Is that what's gonna happen now these days with people front? I am not sure, guys. Seriously. Okay? So this is kind of scary and troubling. But here a little bit more. Let me jump off of this.
Brett Howden, he wrote, she's the one who got naked and started begging everyone. Alex Formanton is among the 5 players charged, joining McLeod, Hart, Dubé, and Foote. They have all pled not guilty to sexual assault. McLeod has also pled not guilty to being a party to the offense. The charges stem from alleged incidents in a room at the Delta Hotel involving a group of men and a law in Alberta.
Okay, guys. So one said, yep, she wanted to give it to all of us. Next one said, keep your story straight. Next one said, we all need to stick together. Oh, chariot. Oh my. Boy, can we run on? I'm just filling you guys in with the content. Can we run on? I'm sure you guys don't see nobody else with these kind of content. Remember, I tell you this, okay? Let's talk about some more things and wrap up this live, shall we? Now, guys, lot more to talk about, Let's go here, and right now. Former FBI Director James Comey is being interviewed by the U.S. Secret Services. Probably going to be in hot water because you did hear all kind of things what this man did. So as soon as the tragedy struck, I will come out here and shout, Comey, what they're talking to you about. Seriously, people, I tell you, everybody nowadays days find themselves in hot water. No doubt. Seriously, okay? Now, rambling on. Rambling on. What did I say about Tory Lane's father? A ordained minister, of a missionary. Man is a pastor. And Tory is a rapper. How does that go hand in hand together? I am not sure. I got to shout. Let's get into some more stuff, okay? Remember I said that Justin Bieber sold his music catalog for $200 million because he lost his entire fortune. There's a new documentary coming out for Justin Bieber, so I had to come and shout. I just call him Beaver because he's a Canadian, and you know the beaver is one of the animals. So I just call him Beaver, but we know his name is Bieber. I know that. Okay, guys? So when I say some word, it's not that I don't know the word or I can't pronounce the word. At times, when you talk, when you read, you just throw one and two slangs in it, one and two things in it to make the content kind of fun and go flow and slowly. It's not that I can't read and I don't know words. Okay? At the end of the day, I am not perfect. Okay? I am not the smartest, but I got a little bit of education and I got a little bit of knowledge and wisdom. Can't knock a sister, can ya? Moving right on, people, quick and fast. Now, what else I have to talk to you guys about? I think I'm going to wrap this live up like Sunday morning wrap. Seriously. So relax. It's Sunday. Yay, I give you guys an hour and a whole belly full. Wanna say? Let's get into some more stuff, okay? Couple more, actually, one more things and I'm gone. One more thing. Guys, did you guys know that this man come out and talk about his rape incident or situations? And it seems like, hold on, let me see if I could find it. Okay. Rapper YG revealed his past. That he was, okay. Rapper YG came out and said a bag of things about his past, guys. Let's get into it. Since we talk about Tory Lanez, since we are going to wrap up the live like how you wrap up in a blanket, we're wrapping up this live. Let's finish this with Rapper YG. Okay? Rapper YG now. Okay, guys? Rapper YG.
Welcome back, everyone. It's a topic that's rarely talked about, especially in rap music. But Compton born and raised artist YG is now opening up about his experience with sexual assault when he was just a teenager. The revelation comes in his new single called 2004. The lyrics are vulnerable, uncomfortable, and mostly honest. The rapper sat down exclusively with our Roxy Diaz this Mental Health Awareness Month to discuss how he turned that painful memory into music and his public transformation as he breaks free from the box he says society placed him in.
Hitmaker and storyteller, Grammy-nominated rapper YG burst on the scene 15 years ago, since dropping iconic songs like Who Do You Love?
Forward that out, sorry. Forward that, sorry.
You ain't never talked about. You gotta dig deep. He like, yeah, what's something that you ain't never told nobody that don't nobody know? And then the beat was playing. And I was like, when I was young, I got raped. And then I was like, Bob, twice my age. And everybody was like, what?
At what age did you comprehend that what happened to you was sexual assault?
When it happened, like, I wasn't thinking about it, or like it wasn't like a thing like that. It was like, oh, I just did some with an older woman, like it's lit, like, you know what I'm saying? But then as you grow up and then you start thinking about,
did you hear that? when you do it with an older woman, some black guys or some guys feel like, say, when they fall, they say small axe fall a big tree. They believe that, yep, I got some big woman, this and that. It's rape. It's considered rape. If you didn't know. Not because it's a woman. It's considered rape. She's way older than you. It's rape. John Noah Star, and that plagued the black community a lot. When older men take up young girls, like the Shannon situation, like the Diddy situation, even this 20-year-old girl situation in the hockey, everybody's rolling their eyes. Oh my, the man nasty, yuck, pervert. But yeah, some bigger man out here rocking the cradle. Yeah, some bigger man out here rocking the cradle. Look at couple. Oops. All right. Let me leave the people that mix up alone. Please box me in my mouth. You chat too much. Why you not the people in business? Mind your business. I had to top up myself just tell people, mind your business. You talk too much. Mind your mouth. Let me stop talk. Let's get back to the content. I was going to say some things, but the birdie say, shut up. Seriously. Let's continue, guys. Okay? So this man basically got raped, seems like, from a woman. Huh? Maybe? Let's continue.
With an older woman, like, it's lit, like, you know what I'm saying? But then, as you grow up and then you start thinking about, you go through life and you see stuff and you learn stuff. It's like, nah, that was
rape.
Yeah, I got raped.
Of course.
In 2012,
John
the
Noah
Department
Star.
of Justice redefined the criminal definition of rape for the first time since 1927 to include male victims,
You're there.
including those unable to give consent due to.
So before, the male victim wasn't on it. When you go and tell the police, I'm a man and I'm raped, they maybe laugh at you. Oh, I've been raped by a woman. They say, yo, you got some qualms. Go sit down. Why you complaining? Now they added to the list that men could come out and say, I'm being raped. I have been raped. So don't play with it. Don't play with it. When you come over here, you get all kind of things, including information. And when you come over here, you find out about all the new laws. Don't play with it. You guys know when you guys come over here, you're going to get a bag of things. Don't play with it now. So let's continue now, please and thanks. Oh, no.
Studies have found 1 in 20 boys under the age of 18 experience sexual assault.
Well, obviously.
And of those reported to police, 93% of predators were known to the victim.
My God.
Like, everybody got their story, and it's just, that's why I made the record, to influence people to tell their stories, you know what I'm saying? Especially, like, coming from...
And
his experience.
Okay, and when he goes and when a man come out here and tell people that they're being raped, first thing, you're a faggot, you're gay. The other word is you're a battyman, fish, barracuda, snapper, octopus, groundfish, mullet head, all kind of soulfish, and the list go on with a barricade of battyism arguments. So the man says you should come out and talk if you've been raped as a man. He's encouraging you guys to come out and talk if you're being violated. Don't bother to come out here ignorant. Barracuda, fish, sprat, octopus, shrimp, and you guys nonsense. There's men out here that are victims. And from the get-go in the black community, we taught our men that they have to suck it up, shut up, hold your pain, muster your fear, don't talk, you're a man. Doesn't go like that. They have feelings too as well. Not only that, the next thing, when they're suicidal, depressed, don't come talk to me. Muscle up the fear. You're a man. What you cry about? It doesn't go like that, guys. Men have feelings, and a lot of times they need a shoulder to cry on. And a lot of times they're being violated like women as well, and they don't come out and talk because they throw them underneath the fish line. Gill, scale, fish, snapper, red snapper, yellow snapper, fin. And you guys go on with the barricade of batty insults. So me have to just come out and shout. Let's finish up this and wrap up this live. Please and thank you. Okay, let's wrap up this live, guys. Wrap up this live, for real. Not dragging it on anymore, shall we? Not at all. Wrapping up this live, oh.
Messages that you put out there and how you gave other people courage to be able to speak up and say it's okay because YG went through it.
Yep.
Maybe it wasn't okay. You know, I could tell an adult. I hope you know that power because that's really a big deal. YG believes his upcoming album, The Gentleman's Club, dropping this summer, will bring a new era in his career, humanizing him.
So if you never know that YG went through all of this, now you know, okay? And he encouraged all the men to come out and talk about your pain. If you come and talk about your pain, you're not a sissy. If you come out as a man and you come talk about your pain, you're not soft. Okay, you're not a woman. If you come out and talk about people fondle your ass and violated you, then we wouldn't throw you under fish, barracuda, sprat, and the list go on. You're being molested, you were molested. And everybody have a fair share to come out and talk. So to all the victims out there, if I touch this a difficult part, a sensitive part of your life, I am sorry. But when it comes to this content and when you come over this channel, we cover a lot of things, guys. So if I do ruffle your feather this morning with this content, I am sorry. If you're still healing, please do. And if you still don't see fit to come and out your perpetrator, I do understand. Sympathy, empathy, my soul and heart goes out with you, and just respect to you. I didn't mean to step on your hurt this morning. Wrapping up the life, people. I gave you guys an hour and change. I don't need to give you guys any more. Wrap up this life quick and fast. For those who out there, today's Sunday. Happy Sunday. Relax, 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 relax. For those out there having a happy anniversary to a very special couple, hold on to your husband. Hold on to your husband. Nowadays days, a lot of women are not going to be married, especially in the black community. We have more women out here than men. We go to more funeral, baby shower, now we go more weddings and graduation. We a shout. Yeah, we always know at the end of the day, too much single women out here. Too much broken homes are out here. So when you have that significant other and they love you from the head, love you from the heart and not the head, unconditionally, you gotta hold on pan your other, hold on to your other half, hold on pan your man, cause your man can perform. Don't make matey come and take him. Don't let a home wrecker come wreck your home. Stay focused, and not because he's your husband, not taking any disrespect, but at the end of the day, more love, more understanding, and more togetherness. All right? So happy anniversary to a very special couple out there. Running on quick and fast. Okay? Because we're not itch. Not at all. Okay, guys? So I'm wrapping up this live. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, we. Right here. Powerful words of the day. Powerful words for the day. Believe in yourself, now, man. Believe you can and you will. Stay strong. Dream and believe, achieve. Never give up. A little progress each day adds up to be big results. Be grateful. Can no found no ungrateful burn the bridges before the cross, nah, man. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. Work hard, because if you don't work hard, then you won't see the progress. Work hard. Good things come to those who hustle. Don't be a scuminar. Stay humble. Work hard in silence. Let success make noise. Be kind. Kindness makes you most beautiful. Keep smiling, because you're small. You make life more beautiful. Asa, is that so? I am not sure. Big up to those who always jump in at the content, always run come, always share the content, always come whether I am live, morning, noon, and night. Thank you so much. Big up your nice, clean self on today's Sunday. Okay, guys, running on. Then we are going to shout a big thank you for those who always come and watch the content and say she talk a lot, she chat enough, she can't stop talk, she can't make the video play, but you still come. A big thank you, please and thanks. Not only that, a big respect for those. So whether girl they are, where is she? How come she speak English and she speak Jamaican? Well, let me shout today. I bilingual English, Jamaican, and French. Don't play with it. Yeah, you don't play with it. So big respect for you to come around and come and watch the content. I respect. Anyways, keep on running on and on. For those who's having a happy birthday, yeah, my friend. One more year upon them. Big up on this lovely day. It's your day, okay? Not only that, guys. And guys, to the people in my life who make me smile, love me, support me, and bring me joy, thank you very much. And for the masses that come out and whoever else who always there, big up on a nice clean self. Happy Sunday with a peace and love. And don't forget, let me shout it out. Like, comment, and share, and subscribe. Turn on your notification bell, because if you don't turn it on, and because you don't know I'm a lone ranger, that I come morning, early, morning, noon, afternoon, evening, night, na. Turn on your notification bell so when I drop the content, you be like, hear me, ya see me, ya girl. I am right here. Other than that, I am out. Yeah? Peace and love.